We'll solve a radical equation in this exercise. We have the equation, the square root of x minus 1 plus 3 equals x. Now the first thing that we want to do in this equation is to isolate the radical on one side of the equation. And I can do that by subtracting 3 on both sides. And when I do that, I have x minus 1 equals x minus 3. Now to eliminate the radical, I'm going to square both sides of the equation. So I'd have the square root of x minus 1 squared equals x minus 3, that quantity squared. Squaring on the left gives me x minus 1, and when I square on the right side, I have x squared minus 2 times x times 3, or minus 6x, plus 3 squared, or plus 9. Now I've got a quadratic equation here. I've got an x squared term, so I'm going to write all of the terms on one side of the equal sign and a 0 on the other. And to do that, I can subtract x and add 1 on both sides. That would give me 0 on the left, and on the right I would have x squared, and then I would have negative 6 times x minus x, or negative 7 times x, and I would have 9 plus 1, or 10. And now I want to factor x squared minus 7x plus 10, and that factorization is x minus 2 times x minus 5. And now I can use the principle of zero products to solve what I have here. If this product is 0, x minus 2 is equal to 0, or x minus 5 is equal to 0. I add 2 on both sides here, and I get x equals 2, and I add 5 on both sides here, and I get x equals 5. So the possible solutions are 2 and 5, but because we squared both sides of this equation, we need to check to make sure that these are solutions of the original equation. So let's do that. First of all, we'll check when x is 2. I'm going to substitute 2 for x. I'll have the square root of 2 minus 1 plus 3 on the left, and on the right side I'll have 2. 2 minus 1 is 1, so this is the square root of 1 plus 3. The square root of 1 is 1. So on the left-hand side I have 1 plus 3, or 4, and this says 4 equals 2, and that's a false statement. So we know that 2 cannot be a solution of the equation. Now let's check and see if 5 is a solution. Here I'm going to substitute 5 for x, so I'll have the square root of 5 minus 1 plus 3 on the left-hand side, and I'm substituting 5 for x on the right. The square root of 5 minus 1 is the square root of 4. So on the left side I have 2 plus 3, or 5, and 5 equals 5 is true. So 2 is not a solution of the equation, but 5 is. So we would just say that the solution is 5.